Jh23.4, reviewing and planning and delivery of a sports event. Introduction. As a group, myself and other students organised and planned to run a sporting event. This particular event can be described as fun, which consists of lots of different obstacles, putting competitive fitness and strength to their maximum test. Not only were those who were to get involved gaining physical benefits from such an event like this, but at the same time had the opportunity to raise money for their chosen charity. I found overall it was a success due to everyone seemingly having fun, which raised a lot of money for charity as well. All participants who entered the event were able to complete the course, and all responsible competitors were positive. With this in mind, I feel it is an event that we shall hopefully look to not only plan and run again next year, but for years to come. Planning strengths. The first real strength I noticed was how well we managed our budget. I felt due to only being given a small budget, it was important we planned well and organised prior to the event. One of the main aspects of this was to find a venue suitable and ensure it was a safe place that was not only going to be too expensive and out of our price range. We also had to pay members of staff who helped not only on the day but also those who helped organise and set up the event. All finishers were given t-shirts and medals on the day, which meant further expenses were made in order to cover the cost of these. Therefore, with this in mind, I feel our handling budget overall was particularly good, due to being on top of raising money needed. Other ways in which we're able to make more income was through gaining other businesses. Finally, I believe coming up with a finalised plan was another strength of ours, as this enabled us to be fully prepared and know what to expect on the actual day. This plan included a venue, date, and overall number of participants. We also ensured that a group we had paid everyone in plenty of time. This meant we had no worries regarding payments needing to be made. It also meant that any money made from this point onwards was to be a profit. Areas for improvement. The first improvement I feel that could be put into place for planning is that for the next event, a different charity perhaps could be used. The reason I say this is because due to charity we choose, we are limited to the venue we could choose or what we could have available. However, the group came to a decision that the National Trust was the correct decision due to providing those involved. It may have been a different choice, however, had we had more time and researched better. Lastly, an improvement I feel that needed to be made to our plan was that I felt not all the group put in as much as everyone else should have done. Some were putting in more work than others. As a member of the group who was putting in a substantial amount of work, I felt annoyed with certain members who did not put in next to nothing. Although I feel the group leader gave job roles to individuals, he perhaps didn't think over how much work people were given. Following the plan being finalised, the group were able to turn their attentions to the actual event itself, which meant job roles would change and hopefully see those who were not putting as much effort in start getting a shift on, allowing someone like myself to put a hard graft through the planning process. When delivering the actual event itself, there were many strengths I noticed. The first of these would have to be that we raised a lot of money for our certain charity. Our main objective throughout the planning and delivery of our event was to ensure that all participants were having fun and completed the day with a smile on their face. Although lastly, I felt feedback from all those who took part was very positive. We handed feedback forms out to all participants along with their medals and t-shirts. However, we gave them opinion if they wanted to complete them or not. We said they could do it online or obviously send a letter back to us. After looking over these forms, it soon became apparent that most of the participants enjoyed the day out, and most importantly enjoyed the obstacles that were given to them. When we finished with the forms, question asking whether they like it, would they do it again, or what could we do to improve in the future. This gave us further motivation when it came to planning the following years. We already knew people were aware of our event and were likely to get involved again. I believe promotions and planning went well as we hit our target of 500 people completing the role improvement. The areas for improvement is perhaps the drink stations competitors had available to them. Prior to the event, we did not necessarily take into account the amount of participants that would require as many drink stoppages as they needed. This was particularly bad on our behalf, because this meant runners were more likely to become dehydrated, which could have backfired on us, not giving them fluids to take on board. The last major improvement I noticed was how understaffed as a group we were. We had enough for the event to run. I still feel as though a few more members of staff would have been beneficial and allowed the day to be less full on for those members of staff who were there. In particular, car park staff. This was an area that we were low on, therefore meant other members of staff who have been elsewhere having to jump in and give them a hand, meaning they would be more stressed, and it wouldn't be fair on them if they had to keep doing this throughout the years. So it would be good for next time to get more staff in. When analysing my own performance in a delivery of the Warrior Run, I think I need to speak with more clarity and confidence, as people did not feel reassured in the information I was telling them. For the future events, in conclusion, I felt overall the day went really well and it was a success. Reason for this being all that feedback forms returned showed a good positive sign, and words and feedback that we were getting were very good. And this was particularly nice to hear and good to see, considering it was our first real go at producing such a big event. Hearing and seeing such figures like this also allowing us to group to take pride and motivation when it comes up to planning the event for the future.